These are the things we want to explore. So if you have questions, you have concerns, why don't you log on to Facebook, search for Love 99.5, find the diaries post and join us with a question or a contribution. I'd love to read from you, especially if it's a question so that the lawyer will address it for you. He'll be here with us in the next minute, I assure you. But before he does, well, we're still counting the days. From today is about 4 more days to go for the fitness walk. Call it the health walk, whatever it is. But it's something put together by Love 99.5. We've been doing this for some time now. And the very first edition is on Saturday, the 27th. Well, the events and promotions boss is right here with me. His name is James Hemmans. James, good afternoon to you. Madam.
I think since start of the year, this is my first time of coming around.
On the diary,
Of course,
on the diary,
on the diary, so.
Are you ready yourself? Personally, are you ready to walk?
I'm more than ready.
What do you intend to do?
Yesterday.
What do you intend to do for
I'm walking.
James?
I'm more than walking. In fact,
I know what you do. You often share and supply and distribute water, which of course is a good thing. If that's what you intend to do this coming Saturday, I will not begrudge you.
I share. You have to emphasize on that. I walk whilst I share.
My brother,
water.
You don't walk.
So a few days ago, somebody whispered into my ears, "Charlie, na distance we are doing more than that."
I know who you're referring to.
We are walking.
But to you don't really walk. But don't you think that don't you think that the distance indeed is?
It is cool. You see, sometimes I wonder if certain people I see could cover the distance.
Like me. To be sincere, like me. Like me.
I am talking about the 60 years and the 75s who come around.
I
remember this time I was walking beside this old man, 65 years, he told me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, who cry? Say, and that is what we're talking about. We make it fun.
Indeed.
So by the time you realize you are back to where we converged, you get it. So we are walking. The distance to me is okay. I wish we could do more because, Charlie, we say we try to inspire you to walk on your own. We just do these ones to inspire you so you walk on your own. But I tell you, we'll still go back to our old ways, you see. So, let's do it once and for all.
but so what do we have in store for people who will be joining us?
A lot. This edition is, in fact, going to be one of the best, personally, I have rated.
What's making you say this?
We're doing this with the mall, and the mall has this event they're also putting together, the health and wellness weekend, which is going to be
Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, the Saturday and Sunday will be featuring health screening.
Okay.
What they're saying is that they're doing that to give back to society. So
beautiful.
In time past, they will take money. The hospitals, the clinics that come will take something little, but this time it's absolutely free for everybody coming. Apart from that, we're also putting together this package I know everybody's going to love. Usually the telcos have their technical terms they use. You know, when a lot of people en masse gather at one particular place, data access and internet, jams up and becomes difficult to send and receive
messages.
Info. What we get as a company which is coming with fully fledged internet access for everybody who's going to be there.
Wow.
So on the day your pictures, and in fact they're even going to walk with us. So on your way through the walk, if you take a pic, you can easily upload, you can download, you can share pictures and do everything. At the mall, they are going to be there. So we're having full uninterrupted internet access to do whatever we want. I know the girls would want to come and take the selfies, whatever they call them. And we're going to give you the opportunity to.
Are we going to have the military also pass through?
Of course, they are coming.
I like those crazy guys.
With full force.
No apologies. I like those crazy military guys. They're crazy. They encourage you to do more. Aside from the other things that would, propel you to walk the full length or the full distance, when you're almost giving up, they have something they do. They say things. They encourage you to do it, and I just love them around.
Of course.
So it's on Saturday 6:30, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Dave. Of course, the refreshments, but everything is going to be there.
And we'll be telling you much more.
We will also be walking through the Watch and Dine, the new cinema in Kumasi. I don't more.
Okay. So we'll be sharing more information with you, I think, on Thursday there about here on Love 99.5. Hey, James, thank you very much. He just wanted to pass through and let you be aware that the fitness walk is on Saturday. And so if you are listening to us, tell a friend to tell another friend to tell a relation that, hey, Love FM's fitness walk is on Saturday. I would love to see you there. All right, let's do this together. Let's stay healthy in the year 2018. All right, so Lawyer Obri Yeboah is a private legal practitioner, and he's right here with me in the studios of Love 99.5. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dave.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
I enjoyed that conversation last, Tuesday on the wheel, and I've had a lot of people, ask me for a few things. I know you guys are not comfortable with it. Oh, I want a lawyer's number. I want this. I know you guys are not comfortable, but Charlie, sometimes I move from my But we're here this afternoon to talk about our rights, especially things that happen to us that makes us uncomfortable, that makes us ask ourselves whether the law really works in this part of the world. On Facebook, this is what we have. Now, in your opinion, do Ghanaians to a large extent know their rights under the law such that they are not bullied or even cheated by people, which of course includes the police? For example, it is not the job of the police to chase debts for people, yet some of them do so. What will you do under such a situation? If, for example, you are in your office, you owe me some money, and I've called a police friend of mine. He walks to your office, so he comes to your home. He says, David, so until they say, macho, may arrest him at the police station. Some police officers do this. It is not their role to do. So what will you do under such a circumstance? And interestingly, in this very country, we have high regard for the police. So when such a thing comes your way, one can say, John, what does the law say? What are your rights? What can you really do? Even when a police officer, when you commit some traffic offense and the police officer wants your driver's license, should you give your driver's license to the police officer? Or you can say, no way. The law doesn't allow me to give it to you, so I'm not going to give it to you. This and other things are things that we would be looking at here on the diary this afternoon on Love 99.5. Please don't go away.
Oh, this gate. Hey, Mr. Teji, please come and help me open my gate. I beg you. What is wrong with this gate? You know, this is the second time I've changed this gate after the thieves broke into my shop 2 months ago. When I open it, it always gets stuck in the middle here. I don't know why. I'm even tired of it.
Paco, I've always been telling you, never compromise on quality. You see, I've been using my roller shutter gate for the past 10 years, and I have never had any problems with it because I got it from Donima Steel Complex. Donima Steel Complex provides quality roller shutter gates at affordable prices. They are of high quality and impossible to break in. That's not all. They have the manual and automatic gate systems, which are ideal for warehouses, domestic stores, and garages. And they are installed by professionals without any extra charges.
Had I known.
Don't had I known, yeah. Locate Donima Steel Complex at Asafo, YF Junction, near the Ghana Revenue Authority office, or call 0244-126-625. Donima Steel Complex, home of tropical products.
For the past 12 years, New Generation Investment Services Limited, a leading investment banking firm, has guided thousands of institutions and retail investors to make millions in secure portfolio investments. New Generation Investment Services Limited is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the National Pension Regulatory Authority. We offer Treasury Bill Plus fixtures for our products such as fixed deposits, premium investments, NGI's Child Care Investment, and Diamond Plus investment plans, as well as manages Tier 2 and Tier 3 pension funds. NGI's Limited also manages the Enidaso Mutual Fund. Talk to our seasoned investment advisors now and we will structure an investment portfolio for you. Visit us at first floor Kokobor Jubilee House, Adum Kumasi, and second floor Abosoma Kotre House near Cocoa House, Sunyani, or our website www.ngis-group.com. Call us in Kumasi on 03220-91608 or in Sunyani on 0352-197-482. New Generation Investment Services Limited, achieving excellent returns on your investments.
Would you bring a hot-looking gentleman into the home you share with your ex-husband?
No, but I won't share the same house with my ex-husband.
Mr. Kwate, henceforth, I need you to use this side of the entrance, okay? And make sure you park the car more towards this side, exactly on this angle.
From the stables of Sparrow Films comes Potato, a divorced couple who decide to share equal space in the ex-matrimonial home. Soon realize the idea is easier said than done, bent on flexing their egos and scoring points. The two explore various hilarious tactics that soon inflames emotions and turns an already complicated situation into a roller coaster.
This from someone who asked me for a divorce. Let's not forget who broke up this marriage. I want my butt up.
Starring Jocelyn Dumas, Chris Atto, OCO Uncle KJ, Nikki Samonas, Joke Silva, and many others. Come witness this beautiful comedy told from the mind of an award-winning filmmaker, Shirley Frimpong Manson. Potato premieres in Kumasi.
Saturday, 27 January at Micklin Hotel. First show 5:30 p.m. and the second show 8:30 p.m. Get advance tickets for only 20 Ghana cedis.
Or you pay 30 cedis at the gate.
Get your ticket at Love FM, Abuja Fast Foods, Micklin Hotel, Poco Trading Supermarket, and Abibio Express. This is a star-studded movie you don't want to miss. Potato. This event is brought to you by Love 99.5 FM in partnership with Sparrow Films.
All right, so we're back. This is Love 99.5. And I'm here to present to you The Diary. My name is David AKUETTEH. Now, on Facebook, we have our post. Now, I'm going to try and pin it to top so you don't go through the struggle of, rolling before you get the post. But let me read it out to you. In your opinion, as somebody who's a Ghanaian, as somebody who lives in this very country, in your opinion, do Ghanaians to a large extent know their rights under the law such that they are not bullied or cheated by people, including, let's say, the police? Do we really know, our rights? Now, aside from that, let me share some example with you. It is not the job of the police to chase debts for people, yet some of the police officers do this. Question is why? Now, what will you do under such circumstances? The other thing is, what procedure would you go through? For example, a police officer demands of your driver's license, something that is your property. And like I said, I recall some, IGP some time ago making mention of the fact that it's not the duty, the job of the police to take people's driver's license, yet some of them do. So this and many others are things that we intend to talk about here on The Diary. For example, you work in an organization and they are, doing some things that you don't understand, maybe trampling upon your rights as a human being, things that you don't understand. So let's talk about it here this afternoon. And my lawyer, our lawyer is right here with us, and I'm grateful for your time and of course your presence with us in the studios of Love 99.5. How are you, sir?
Yes, I'm fine. And how are you doing yourself?
Grace about
Nice to see you.
As always, likewise.
You look better.
I look better than last week, yes.
Yes.
Last week I was stressed and I was tired.
Yes.
All right, so we're here to talk about our rights.
Yes.
Now, when we talk of my rights, what exactly are we referring to? What do we really mean?
Yes, let me say good afternoon to you once again, and then to our listeners who make time every week to listen to us. Yes, taking it as a nation, I think we just celebrated 25 years under the current constitution.
Yeah.
Yes, and then also that is making Ghana a democratic country in terms of the citizens and then how the nation is run. Yes, and it's also to the fact that we as a people, Ghanaians, have decided to live under the rule of law. Yes, because as we could have decided to live as individuals where the might rule. So if you are stronger than me, you can order me to obey you, and if you have, let's say, more wealth and more authority, you can abuse me in terms of what you want me to do, and then what you are expecting from me. But when we come together as a country, we ensure that we live under the rule of law. It doesn't depend on whether you are strong. It doesn't depend whether you love me or not.
Whether you're wealthier than
whether
I am.
you are wealthier than I. There should be a level playing field, if you will put it in that sense, where each and every citizen is recognized by the law. If you have an issue or you have a problem, you go per the rules of the game or the law that has been adopted as a people. So this Fourth Republic, with the Fourth Republican Constitution 25 years ago, was adopted through a referendum as a people or as Ghanaians, for us to use it as a reference point in terms of how we will govern ourselves, in terms of how we will live with each other, in terms of how we will go about undertaking various activities. So that is the idea with respect to citizens. So every citizen, you once you are a Ghanaian, we assume that you should you should have certain interests which can accrue to you as a Ghanaian. You don't need to make any effort. You don't need to struggle to achieve it. But once you are considered as a Ghanaian, per our laws, per our constitution, that is supposed to be offered to you. And in such situation, we have established institutions. Institutions to ensure that these rights do not just become a mirage, but can be appropriated, can be enforced, can be benefited from by the citizens. And I think that is what makes the difference. So that is the idea, so that you are not living as an island on your own, but we have all joined our collective effort together for the growth of the country, for the protection, so that as we are living under the law, then we must all comply with the tenets of the law.
Would you say individuals and many of us, know our rights as a people? Do we know our rights such that if, for example, somebody wants to do something wrong to us, something untoward towards us, we can say, listen, this is my right. I'm standing my grounds. Take me wherever. I know my right. Take me wherever. I would win.
Insist on my right.
Yeah, and I will win anyway. Because what the Kokran go see that.
I think people know their rights. And people actually enforce their rights.
They stand for it?
They stand for it. Because one important right, let's say what we call property rights, which is also part of the fundamental human right, which is enshrined in our constitution under the chapter 5 of the constitution, that people, and that's why people quarrel over land issues, because he has purchased his piece of land, he's started some work on it, and then somebody comes and say that I've also bought it from another chief or another person, and the person will not let that property go away. I have people who came to me complaining about somebody building on his plot and has taken, in building the wall, has designed the wall such that it has taken a small piece
of his land.
Of their land. And they insisted they didn't have much money, but through the concept of the district assembly, they went through the assembly procedures in terms of zoning the area, and the man eventually had to break down the wall and then
do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
When it comes to land, I'm sorry, lawyer, but when it comes to land, I have that conviction too, that people will go to whatever lengths to ensure that the right things are done.
Yes, so they are enforcing their property rights.
Yes, I understand. But when it comes to, let's say, abuse. When it comes to abuse. Somebody else is a guardian to somebody's child, and they are abusing the child, either as a house help or as a stepchild. We know, that it is wrong, but yet we keep quiet about it. If we hit the streets, for example, and we're driving, and some traffic offense happen, like I mentioned earlier, the police officer comes and asks of my driver's license. He can take some particulars of it and give you back my license, but that doesn't happen here in Ghana. The police officer will demand you for your license and put it in his pocket. We keep quiet. I said, police station. Yes, I'm asking. We don't say anything. And that thing that it itself is wrong. So we will get there. But let me ask this: you're saying that to a large extent we know of our rights, but generally, do we know how to get it? How to make use of it, such that nobody tramples upon it, nobody takes it away from us?
Very well, very well. Yes, I think to a large extent. Whether literate or illiterate, whether the person can read fluently or not, I mean, whether the local language or English language, I think people know their right. But we must also not also realize that people can waive their right.
They can waive it.
Yeah, they can waive it.
They know of it, but they intentionally decide to let go.
Yeah,
but that's a different matter.
So I'm just putting the point that people can waive their right in terms of their personal dignity, personal respect, self-worth. I think that is the challenge with our country. It comes to the dignity of us as a people, how we see ourselves as individuals, as citizens, as a person. I mean, a lot of people look down upon themselves. And that's why people take advantage, because so when it comes to issues of human dignity, human personal individual rights, human liberties, you see that people, because we see it in churches, whereby you see people's dignity are trampled upon. People have their children, sons and daughters put in chain, and the chain is creating huge sore and people will watch and will not complain. People go to hospital, they will not bother what treatment they are being given. They will not bother when the nurse comes 10, I want to give you an injection. They will not ask, what injection are you going to give me, and what is it going
side
to
effects and all that.
And all that. As you are saying, people are living in abusive relationship.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you hear it, it's mind-boggling. But they have allowed themselves to stay in that abusive relationship.
Is it not again because of the fact that it depends on who am I up against? If the person is more popular, although the law says that we're all equal under the law. But here's a situation where you know of more people than I do.
Yes.
You are well-to-do more than I do. So you can pull strings such that, my rights will be trampled upon, such that the law will not really give justice.
No, I'm of the opinion. I differ from your position, but I'm of the opinion that it's not because certain stories when you hear both individuals involved, one may not be stronger in terms of maybe physique, because as I'm giving an example, even asking a clinician what treatment you are giving me.
Tell me,
no, so
tell me,
yes.
So we are. I'm for go to hospital 3 days on coffee on night. Tell me, go business injection.
Yes, no. So it means that we as a people have been socialized to adjust or to accept those treatment, which affect our dignity as a people. And because seriously, you go to church and the pastor is telling you certain things to do, which is an affront to your person, and you accept it. I mean, clearly, you are waving.
Also, for next to God. People who are married, husbands can tell you.
Yes.
Yes,
yes. And it leads to a lot of dissolution of marriage in Ghana.
It does.
Unfortunately. So I think we as a people must begin to conscientize ourselves and begin to alert right from childhood, whether male or female. And because you can even extrapolate it into male and female when it comes to even protection for females in terms of their right, especially when it comes to organization in terms of work where females are unfortunately assaulted, harassed sexually. And they don't complain.
They don't complain.
Yeah, but we have our laws.
Lawyer non-complaining and no judgment.
No, but if you go to the Labor Act, you can leave and it will be a term as constructive dismissal, and action can be taken about the firm. Because, let me congratulate you for what you did with respect to the baby, mother and baby unit.
Yeah.
You know, that the problem has been there
for 43 years.
We have been suffering about it, and it took a journalist and the whole multimedia organization to help us at least have some solution.
Yeah.
So, the problem may persist, but I think we all have to start from somewhere and begin to alert ourselves, because we all also abuse people's rights. We shout on people.
Yeah.
Yes, and mistakenly sometimes I can do it as a lawyer with a witness in the witness box, and your attention be drawn to it that it is not allowed. So we all as a people will begin to conscious ourselves that we appreciate the dignity of our own people. They are citizens. They have a right according to the law, and then we will protect. Because it even comes when it comes to political leadership. Because you realize that some of the decisions taken by political leadership is because we don't respect our people.
Indeed, we don't.
Yes.
So for want of time, let me pick a few things one after the other.
Very well.
Let's explore them. Now, per the law, depending, if I'm not an armed robber or whatever, a police officer cannot detain me beyond 48 hours.
Yes.
Am I right?
That is so.
Okay, so at least I know a bit of the law. So if a police officer cannot detain me for more than 48 hours, and the police officer wants to arrest me on, let's say, a Friday, arrest me around 3 or 4, and puts me in there, knowing very well that most courts will not operate on a Saturday and a Sunday.
Yeah.
So bottom line is that he's arresting me, detaining me on Friday, Saturday, which of course makes up the 48 hours, including Sunday, and then on Monday, at that time, hasn't he trampled upon my rights in a way? So if a police officer wants to arrest me on a Friday on a very frivolous or something very trivial, which of course I know for a fact that I might be there for more than 48 hours, what do I do as a citizen? Let's say I don't have a lawyer. What do I do? I catch a police officer as a member. What do I do?
Yes. As we want to look at the issue about police, let's say hello to Regional Commander
Kenyewa,
COP Kenyewa, and his 2IC who are also members of the bar, and I believe they are doing marvelous work in terms of protecting the rights.
I understand where you're going to. Members of the bar,
protecting the rights of our people in the Ashanti region.
Yeah.
Yes, and David, what you are saying is covered under, as I said, Chapter 5, but specifically under Article 14. 14, we'll look at 14.3. So specifically said that a person who is arrested, restricted, or detained for the purpose of bringing him before a court in execution of an order of a court, or upon reasonable suspicion of his having committed or being about to commit a criminal offense under the laws of Ghana, and who is not released, shall be brought before court within 48 hours after the arrest, restriction, or detention.
Within 48 hours?
Within 48 hours. So our constitution has provided it clearly. So it's available for citizens to benefit from. But as you can see, it's not any, as you were saying, frivolous offense. Because it's also, we should also give credit to our police. We can have a number of citizens who have just been called by a police CID that somebody has made a report against you. I'm investigating you, and kindly make time and pass by the office.
That's an invitation.
I don't know if you have heard that one too.
That's an invitation.
Yes,
you've been not being arrested, but you're invited.
No, I'm just saying that. I'm answering your question with respect to because
being detained for over 48 hours.
Yes,
okay.
Because as you said, with respect to frivolous charges.
Okay.
Because so I'm saying that let's also be fair to our police, because police is an important democratic institution.
I understand that.
Yes,
I understand.
I know you don't want me to go there. Yes,
no, but indeed, I do understand.
So let me continue. So I'm just saying that there are for the police to arrest you, because like if there's a court order, if let's say you are absconding, or let's say you have a case in court and you
can interfere with investigation.
Yes.
You can tamper with evidence.
Yes.
You can destroy the scene and do what. I understand
yes.
that. But let's talk about something that is not that serious.
Yes.
So I know police officer wants you to be there for Ocho and Nyansa. I say, sometimes that's the perception we have, and indeed somebody can tell you that that's what is happening. What type of police officer? And I say,
yes.
the person Chen and Nyansa Kakra.
Yes.
So they would intentionally want to detain you or put you in there.
No,
for more than 48 hours.
I agree.
What do I do?
I agree with you that it happens.
Yes.
It happens.
Yes.
And when such a thing happens, your rights has been trampled upon.
How do I prevent it in the first place? I don't want it to be trampled upon. So what do I do? I recall a very close relation of mine who was working in with a company somewhere, and her boyfriend at the time was being investigated or had been arrested for embezzlement, practice or fees or whatever. And then this close relation of mine was also arrested.
Yes.
Because the guy had said that he gave some of the money to this person. And then later the guy said, well, he had not. And then this girl was, whether arrested or whatever, was taken to her residence. Investigations were conducted, blah, blah. There's nothing found in there. And then the police officer says, I saw them Kusi Monday.
Yes. No, but...
And then because of the kind of job I do, I also know a few people. So I started making calls, only for me to realize that the owner of the business just wanted these two people to be put in there just to teach them a lesson.
Yes.
And it doesn't make sense.
Yes, and what you are saying is true, especially financial institutions.
Yes.
Rural banks, conventional banks. When there's an issue with respect to malfeasance, they interrupt or by way of forcing the police to abuse the right of citizens in that sense.
Yes, I know.
Yes, and clearly that is an abuse.
So what do I do?
When a citizen... One, if we go to the Police Service Act, it indicates proper processes that you can complain to a superior officer. No.
Who will give you that opportunity? First of all, which police officer do you know who is superior? Who will give you access to him? Would he even listen to you? Let's say you try all that, it doesn't work. What then? What next?
What we are discussing, we must also not lose sight of the fact that within the law, we are living in a democratic institution. So if somebody is abusing your right, going against the law has a laid down process for you to ventilate your right.
I know.
So such a person you can sue the person in the human rights court.
I can sue the person after I get out.
Yes.
My question is, how do I prevent being detained for that over 48 hours unnecessarily? Let me give you another picture. Another very close friend of mine, a lady, who saw some police officers brutalizing somebody at the Kumasi City Mall, who just decided to take a video of what the police officers were doing. The police officers took offense, then arrested this lady, took her to a squad police station, and the Omayoma Friday evening or something. No, my Omayoma is supposed to Kusi Monday. So she calls me. I also call somebody that I know. So we started placing calls. It became who knows who.
Yes.
Who has more connections.
Yes.
So the person will not be detained over the 48 hours. Because what you are arresting this lady on is to make trivia. Yet they think that because they are men in uniform, they can do what they want. So under that circumstance, if I don't know somebody who also knows somebody, or she herself didn't know somebody who knows somebody, how do we do this? How do we prevent this from happening? Because the police officer is bent on, trampling upon my rights.
Yes, and David, it's because nobody takes hold of the law and see it through, and take action against these people who perpetrate these abuse, but that it still persists.
But the point is, this is where it has already happened. How do at that point, what I'm trying to put across is this. I'm sorry to banter with you.
No.
But at that point, I'm saying that so I'm at the Kumasi City Mall. I see some police officers misbehaving, maybe just beating up somebody. I decide to film it. They come over to me, take my phone, smash the phone, and then say because of who take footage they acquired, then you and they take me to the police station and say go behind bars, put me in cell.
Yes.
How do I say that? Say, this is my right. I haven't done anything wrong. You were rather doing something wrong. Yes. I was filming it. How do I insist on my rights? That's what I want to know.
Yes. So the point I'm trying to make is that there are issues or there are situations where men and women of the service, as officers, as men, will take advantage of the uniform to abuse the right of the citizens.
Some of them.
Yes.
And they do. Some of them do.
Yes, who take advantage and abuse the right of the citizenship. So that's why I'm saying that there and then, if there is a senior police officer, because actually that's why now the police have made effort to have officers and men's name tag, and even there are certain ranks you can even see the number. So you can bring it to the attention of a senior officer, because at that stage, if you begin to, let's say, be physical with the police, it's likely that your right will be further abused. But you can go through the situation of your right being abused there. At that time, when you are speaking, nobody is hearing you. But when it's done and over with, you still have a way to ventilate your right.
Okay, so because I don't want to spend 2 days unnecessarily in a police cell, just because a police officer thinks that he or she wants to have his way with me. Elsewhere, they will tell you can. Somebody will tell I want to call my lawyer.
Yes.
Here in Ghana, does it also pertain that I can say, okay, fine, let me call my lawyer?
Oh yeah, I mean lawyers are.
So the lawyer will come and say, listen, this is wrong. You are trampling on the person's rights, and therefore release the person. But how many of us have lawyers?
Oh, of course. I mean, the person can call his or her lawyer who can come to the police and then engage with the police, and then the issues can be settled. There are situations, especially with the financial institution, that people call their lawyers, but if you don't have a lawyer, the government makes provision for lawyers with respect to legal aid scheme, which people can make their complaints to. And then they can take action on their behalf. And the police are also under the Attorney General's department. So you can petition the Attorney General's office about some of the issues or the wrongful acts that the police visit on individuals or citizens. And the lawyers of the Attorney General can take action on your behalf to ensure that the police do the right thing with respect to the law, according to the law. But let's see. Let's know. I don't want us to easily, because we have issues. People have different experiences with the police, but we encourage the citizens that when your right is abused, when you are detained, you are put in as you said, on a frivolous. After you are released, don't let it end, because that's the problem we have.
That's why it still continues, sir.
Yeah, and that's why it continues, because I have a situation where lawyers are willing to help people to sue the police, directly the person involved, to sue the regional commander and also to sue the Attorney General for the abuse of his right. And this is filed, but you realize that the person, because he's gained his freedom, because he has his own low self-esteem, thinks that once I've gained my freedom, why do I waste my time in following up it up in the court? So I will encourage citizens that when your right is abused, after it's ended, don't let it end. Continue to push through the legal processes and let the person who did that to you be punished. And you be paid some damages to take care of the needs and the suffering that you have been put through. And I believe it will become a lesson for other police officers and men, so that they will not continue to abuse the right of individuals of the state.
I know that some lawyers went to court and won a case where, when you, for example, you alleged to have raped somebody, then you will not also you enjoy this benefit of 48 hours. I'm not saying go and kill, go and rape, go and defile. No, I know they do too many, but I'm talking about very, very, very trivial, cases. For example, like the one I mentioned, where some police officers were, manhandling somebody and somebody wanted to
mostly such cases are more of emotional rife of the person with the police. So usually when people with cool heads comes in, the men and women usually...
But common sense should prevail to the police officer or officers that, listen, this is wrong. I cannot detain this person beyond 48 hours. It is wrong, per the law. It is wrong. Even if the individual is loud-mouthed or kasakrana, and run your so don't say, no, they mention Nyansa.
Yes, no, so we should keep talking about these things. We should keep drawing our officers and men and we ourselves, because as I said, these abuse do not only happen with respect to the police. It happens in our communities. It happens in our homes.
Indeed it does.
Yes.
Indeed it does.
So it's not only a problem of the police, but it's a problem. As a democratic country, we must continue to work at it, so that gradually we will begin to have a free society, and our people can live as citizens.
What I would also add to this whole thing is that make sure that you have some lawyer friend or friends, just in case such a thing happens.
So they can
call.
The police station.
Because when the lawyer comes, then the police officer who thinks that you don't know your right, he thinks then that the lawyer knows his or her right. So at least definitely something good will come your way.
They can speak their English and then.
The other thing I want us to look at.
Yes.
I have many of them here, but police for dying cardiac. Oh, I'm not talking about fraud, though. Yes. But I have come to you as Obrinyeboa.
Yes.
And I said, Charlie, today I don't have money, so give me 500 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
You give it to me. I said, I'll give it to you next week. And it's like 2 months, and I have not been able to pay you the money that I pledged to pay some time ago.
Yes.
Should a police officer come and say to me that, well, Obrinyeboa says I owe him, I haven't paid, so by saying, yeah, chill, you're arrested?
Yes, I think that is a very good question, and which I'm sure a lot of our listeners can relate to it, and a lot of our listeners too, I'm sure, may have suffered similar wrongful experiences. And to link with what we were discussing earlier, usually such situation you'll be arrested over the weekend.
Yeah, by Friday you're arrested. That's why he says,
you'll be arrested over the weekend, and then you can you realize that before the next court date, your family would have been through duress, work hard to find money to come and pay for your release. Yeah. Yes, but the straight answer to your question is that police are not debt collectors.
Yeah.
Yes. So they don't do that. But
they shouldn't do that, because they do that. Some of them do that, but they shouldn't do that.
No, they don't. No, so
because some of them are doing it.
Yes,
so they shouldn't do that.
No, it's wrong.
Okay,
clearly it's wrong.
Okay,
and it goes on. So we must also speak to our own people, because those who go to the police to go in and complain that Menu is owing me, and do something for the police to move.
I like the way you put it.
To go and arrest the person.
Yeah.
The person knows that what he's asking the police to do is wrong.
Yeah.
But he thinks that is a shorter and easy way to collect his or her money.
Yeah. And
that's why people will continue to do it. Because I've had situations where people have been arrested because of money, and then they've brought it up that I just owe him. It's not fraud, or the person was not defrauded.
Yeah.
And the police will say that when just already in the court.
But so nimdada. Onimdada police no ba beche no. But because either his palms has been greased, because he's related to the
we do
person.
have evidence of the grease of the palm.
We all know some of these. That's why I'm not generalizing and say they all. I just some of them, their palms are greased. Some of them because they have relations. Either is a cousin or a girlfriend we know these things.
No, but
so what do I do? I mean, lawyer, what I want to know is what do I do if the police officer comes and says, "Listen, as Mrs. made in the car, it's not fraud.
Yeah,
but I owe the person I'm delayed in paying, and because of the fact that Minchia Kado, the Seco police station,
yes,
yes,
clearly, no. Usually in such situations, you had get a call from the investigator, and because such complaints will normally be described in the form of fraud to the police by the complainant, and the complainant will, the police would then may not know the true facts.
Yeah.
So the investigator will give you a call and invite you.
Okay.
So when he comes, he will listen to you.
That is ideal. They should give you a call.
Yes.
And invite you. And I can say that, okay, I'm at work.
Yes.
I'll be available by 4:30.
Yes.
And I come over. But they don't invite you. Or even when they invite you and you go, child, they go the contract counter back. Hey.
There are some that they may not you not be invited, but clearly there are some. I know of situations where people they have been invited, and when they go to the police station and they indicate their situation, the police have then asked or advised the complainant that this is not criminal. This is a civil action, so take a civil suit. But David, let me. What your complaint has gone through our legal process. Yeah. There's one case which appeared before the Supreme Court. So I just want to draw to your attention that it's not that people say it on the street, but some people have taken action, and is in the case of Hermans versus Kofi.
Okay.
Hermans versus Kofi, which was reported in the what we call the Ghana Law Report, and in this case, the man was hard up. So he found himself owing various people, and he was not able to pay.
Not fraud.
Not
yes,
fraud.
He was owing.
Okay. He was owing.
Okay.
So he was not able to pay. But the complainant reported him to the police. The police arrested him and put him in cells for weeks.
Okay.
And at a point, the police forced him to sell his landed property for the money to be used to defray the cost.
Okay.
Because he wanted his liberty of freedom. That was why I was drawing your attention when you're asking, when it happens, what do I do at that time, moment? Yeah. Yes, this man like that, at that moment, he didn't have any option. So he allowed his house to be sold.
But is that fair under the law?
Let me just land. Yes, so he allowed his house to be sold, and the money was used to pay the debt, and the remaining amount was given back to him. So when he was released, then he took action against the person and then the police.
Okay.
That he sold his property under duress and hence cannot be enforced.
Okay.
So he ran through our system and went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court indicated that it was wrong and it cannot be enforced.
Okay.
But the Supreme Court has some nice issues for the police. He said, and if I may read, what we call holding 3, where one obtained goods on credit and defaulted in paying or received money from people to do some work but failed to do the work. You know this happens in our
carpenters,
the basics and all. Who roof our buildings. I bet you see or chow. It's common in our society. Someone but failed to do the work. The default in each case will be a breach of contract.
Yeah.
The remedy for which lay in the civil courts.
Okay.
And not the police station.
Okay.
So this is the position of the Supreme Court. So let our citizens know that right from the apex court of our land, such common situation which happens must not end up at the police station.
Okay.
But these are breach of contract which must be handled at the civil court. And then holding 5, the court also said the police was empowered by the law to protect life and property. And if you look at the Police Service Act That is their function of the citizenry. And as a democracy, the police are to protect the citizens and not to act as debt collectors. The police had no lawful authority to arrest a wife when looking for her husband, or a son when looking for the father, or vice versa, as happened in the instant case. Since such practice constitutes negation of the fundamental rights of the individuals involved under the law and the Constitution, it had to be roundly condemned. So the point I'm making is that citizens must enforce their rights. It may take a while, but I'm sure with time, when people begin to raise issues in court and damages are passed on to police and other people who take advantage of the system, and then people who purport to buy certain things or take people's property under duress, and those actions are reversed by the court, I'm sure with time, people will begin to sit up, and then such behaviors will be a thing of the past.
Lawyer, help me here. So what you're saying again is this: if, for example, somebody says that I owe him or I owe her money,
yes,
and reports me to the police, and the police, we have some very fine police officers,
yes,
and then we have some.
Yes, not to cut you, sorry, but let me also say that at least now, debt recovery does not take long in the courts.
Okay.
If somebody owes you less than 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can take it to the district court. We have one right at Asukwa, what we call summary jurisdiction. And when you file and the person appears in court, summarily they will ask the person, do you owe the person or you don't owe the person? And if the person responds, I owe him, the court will order that pay him. If you don't agree or you admit in part, you pay the part, and then the other part you don't agree, the court will go into and listen and then make determination. Okay. So as we are here, we also want to educate listeners that don't be too obsessed with the issues with the court, because there are certain claims, liquidated claims, which can go very fast. Very quickly. And that is as we have all decided to live by the law, let's go by the laws of the land. Okay. And let there be peace, let there be respect of the right of individuals, let there be respect of human dignity. Okay. And I believe it's the right process. You go and the person may pay the money and you're happy, that person is also happy.
I want to go on a quick break, but before I do, yes or no? So again here, if the police officer comes, so Baba Dan Kama Simisi, and that he says he's arrested me, what do I do? Just follow him, or is the police from Dan Kantemenko?
No, that was why I was saying that the complaint may not be in the form of debt recovery.
No, but if it is in the form of debt recovery, and the police comes and says, "Asimi so the car, and don't say what the best thing."
Oh no, if the police comes to you and say, "Asimi so the car," no, that one clearly then you
I have a right to say "Ungo."
No.
And if he drags me to police and station and puts me behind the counter back or cell, maybe I'm going to sue.
Oh yeah, you take action against the police.
Well, we'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Yeah. All right.
You are great, yes, you are.
The Word of God is a strong foundation, a rock that keeps us standing through the storms of life and exposes our innermost thoughts and desires. Join the International Central Gospel Church Trinity Temple, Kwadaso, every Sunday from 8 to 10:30 a.m. as we help you discover your purpose through life-transforming messages. Remember, the proof of a desire is in its pursuit. Don't miss our weekly services on Wednesdays and Fridays from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Your life will never be the same.
Say you are great. You are great. Say you are great. You are great. Everything,
Everything about you is great.
The great thing about life is that we are all different, and we are free to enjoy life's different flavors everywhere. Under the blazing sun or during a fun night out with a crew, it doesn't matter, because at that moment, all you need to do is reach for a Club Mineral to turn up the sweet, bitter, bubbly, spicy or tangy flavor. Whether Club Orange, Club Cola, Club Muscatella, Club Soda or Club Tonic, there's a flavor for everyone. Turn up the flavor. Club Minerals, there's a flavor for everyone.
All right, so this is Love 99.5. Interestingly, I am really getting enough information, but unfortunately we have some 7 more minutes to go. I don't know. There are a few other areas I wanted us to explore, because, for example, on the streets of Kumasi and wherever. Let me use Kumasi as my case study. If there's an accident on the road, and let's say the two of us haven't reported to the police because of past experience that we have, you have an accident on the road, the police officer comes, you do the marking of the roads and say take the vehicle to the police station. Challenge the frustration that you go through before you even have a vehicle, even when the person who hit your vehicle is prepared to go and fix your car for you, the frustration that they'll put you through, sometimes, let me use a word, it's annoying. So these days, what happens is that when there are accidents on our roads, people will decide to solve it amongst themselves. If you understand that, well, it's your fault and you want to fix my car for me, then that's about it. But the police officers come and they want to insist that accident they see, they think I'm reporting. One reporter, they go police station. Now, in some ting. But time is not on our side for us to explore a few other things. I don't know whether to continue next week, but hey, give us a call now on 03220 83596. Is there anything we've touched on that you want more clarity to? Is there anything that is happening not only with the police but maybe in your workplace, your job place, that you don't understand, that you think you need some advice on? Give us a call on 03220 83596. Let's hear what your thoughts are, what your concerns are, and let's see what we can do to help you. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon, my dear David.
Hi, sir. What's your name, sir?
The question of the police.
What's your name, sir?
A.S. Sanko.
Okay, yes, Sanko, welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you. During our history age in the 60s, we are being taught of civic laws. Civics, it combines this and this sort of thing. There was a time I took a tractor. I was in front of the vehicle was filled. Then police officer came, talked to the driver. The driver said he should enter. Why? The police, the car is full, but what again? You arrested him. If you have arrested the driver, let us get down and make means convenient. No, the driver told me, people started shouting, "Woo, fuck!" And when some at the policeman, this vehicle is being covered by insurance. And when there is excess, insurance will pay. Who will be the excess? So the policeman understood me and get down.
I hear you. Yes, Uncle. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
My name is Edward.
Edward, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Dave. You see, if somebody owes you and the person has run away, and then you are saying that the police has no business assisting you to collect your money. So if I don't report to the police and then I'll go and catch the person somewhere, what will happen?
Well, let's let the lawyer give some advice on that very one. Thank you very much, Edward, for your call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dave.
Yes, sir. What's your name, boss?
My name is Nana Kwesi, calling from Amponte.
Nana, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes, Dave, one question and then one quick observation. My question is, I just want to know from the lawyer, if a trotro is arrested by the police for stopping at the wrong place, does the police have the power to let all the passengers disembark from the car? That is my question. And then the second one is an observation. For some years now, there have been a report from NGOs and non-governmental organizations about corruption perception index in Ghana. And the Ghana Police Service has always come up tops. I mean, these surveys have run for about 5 consecutive years now. I just want to know from you, especially the media, when are you going to call the RGP? The police is the front line of fighting corruption in Ghana. This issue about them standing advantage point in highways collecting money, is it the case that there is official sanction about this extortion? Is it the system? Is the police administration in the know? Are they complicit? Is it the case that nobody, no political authority has the nerve to fight this canker? I just want to know from you, are you not holding these people, political authorities in check? Isn't awful this thing which is everybody is saying it, yet the police continue to do it over the years?
Nana Kwesi, we hear you. I'll give you a response before I wrap up here this afternoon. Thank you very much. And I have 2 more minutes to go, so unfortunately I cannot pick any more calls. But I can give you an assurance that next Tuesday, if we have life and strength, myself and lawyer will continue the same conversation, because I want us to explore it in different areas as well, in our homes, in our workplaces. So please forgive me if I'm not able to pick your call. I am so sorry. But like Nana Kwesi asked, his first question was, Trotro, if a police officer for one reason or the other thinks that he needs to arrest the driver or the driver and the vehicle, should the passengers be allowed to disembark, or they are also at fault?
Clearly, that will be incidents of traffic offense, and is a driver of the vehicle who would have committed that offense. And I'm sure the idea is that because the passengers usually may have no relationship with the person who have committed the offense, you don't need to follow the person to the police station to
So somebody was asking, if you owe somebody, the person runs, and you meet the person, what do you do?
Yes, and he put an important question. When you meet a person somewhere, what happens? But the point is that if you go through the legal process, we have what we call substituted service.
No, but at that time, watching no bending. What do you do?
No, but we should understand that we don't need to have the person present before the court can take action, and the property of the person can be sold.
Well, thank you very much. Next Tuesday we'll continue. Listeners, forgive me for those of you who called, whose call I wasn't able to pick. Forgive me. Next week Tuesday we'll continue the same conversation as to your right and my right. But as we speak right now, Alexis Sanchez at TSA is right here. Good afternoon to you.
Oh, but for the Koti people, the Koti people, oh, but they know they call them Koti. When it happens like that in the trotro, they find you a new car and then they take the arrested driver away. You understand? So that's what happens. But good afternoon.